Stage 7 is going to take some time. If you haven't joined me before, welcome. My name's Luke and this is my channel where I document all my guitar progress from beginner and onwards. Hopefully it can provide some value for you. If it does, hit the notification bells and the subscribe buttons, the other order maybe, and join me on my journey. So I wasn't sure I was going to put up a video this week, to be fair. I've made some progress but not as much as I've done in previous weeks. And I think I've started to build up an expectation of myself to move on quickly, and really that's not the point of this whole thing. The point of it is to develop and go at my own pace. It's not about anyone else's pace, and I think I'm sort of falling back onto this expectation that I've got to move forwards. So that was kind of holding me back from producing this video this week, but I think this is part of the journey, and everyone needs to see it, and it's not easy, and you don't learn everything overnight, which is sometimes what we all kind of seem to think we can when we see someone really good on YouTube or elsewhere in life, and they've put in a lot of time and progress, and it takes time to master the instrument. So I've got a long way to go, and I just started to realise this week that I need to take time to appreciate where I've gone and just keep on pushing through. So one of the things I've been working on again is the learning of the notes, particularly on this 6th string, trying to consolidate that. I've got it to a level where I pretty much know the note that I'm playing there. The way I do it is that I've learnt the major notes, so I know that's F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And so whenever I need to work out one from there, like with power chords, I just either go up and down from that major knowing it's a sharp or a flat, because obviously been learning the note circle. So it's not instinctive yet, so that's why I don't feel that I can move on from this stage, along with many other factors. But that's one of the ones where I feel if I know that instinctively, then surely that's the point where I should be confident in moving on to the next stage. I've been working on the power chords as well. They are sounding a bit better. I've got my technique a bit better. Let's see what I can do with this. So that's just a brief, you can probably recognise the tune, but that's just a brief part of what I've been learning. But I feel that's getting a bit more solid now. But one thing I noticed is that you practice that for about 5 minutes as part of this this stage's practice. So you do kind of 40 minutes a day practice. I'm doing more than that, but they recommend 5 minutes. Well, he recommends 5 minutes doing these power chords. And what I find is that actually my wrist gets quite a bit of pain actually around the base of my wrist, like here, and also between my thumb and index finger here. Maybe I'm gripping too hard, I think, but that's something that I'm really aware of at the moment. So my sus chords, basically at this stage you're trying to get those sus chords that I was doing last week to a point where they're at 60 chord changes a minute. I can do that. To be fair, I mean the sus chords are easy to do. The chord change is easy to do, but I think what he wants you really to get to is the point where, again, like the learning the notes on the 6th string, it's instinctive. So if you were playing a song, it's got that, I don't know, that D chord or that A or that E, then you can just mix it up in your own way. So I guess it's a sort of an improvising thing as you go along, and you can feel it in the song, and you can change to those sus chords. So that's really cool, but I haven't incorporated it into a song just yet. And I probably should do that actually before I move on for this stage. So I might try and do a bit of that next week. Pick a couple of songs that I've actually been learning along this time and try and implement them to see how I get on. Or maybe I'll show you next time what that's like for me. The separated bass line I'm finding quite difficult to nail actually. I think the major factor is that I haven't got any songs that I'm specifically working on that have that kind of, is it a walking bass line? Well, I know it's a separated bass line where you're playing more than one. I think I need to learn one of those Johnny Cash songs. I think might probably be a good idea for it. But I tend to get caught up in the strings a bit, so I'll just give it a go now. played the wrong one there. So once I get a bit of rhythm going, I'm not too bad, but obviously if I was trying to incorporate that into a song, it's going to be tricky. But I think that's the best way to learn anything, is to take these things that he's saying and then try and incorporate them in the song. That's where I've found I've made the most progress so far during the course, is just implementing them straight away. So I think that's something I need to work on next week. Also, I've still been working on the A minor pentatonic. Now, I struggled to get to grips with this and the metronome. It's like hearing my ear, hearing the click and then hearing me play the note. For some reason I can't sync them together. I played around with the metronome to try and get the beats per minute to a point where I could play alongside it. Maybe it's just a volume thing on the sound of the metronome, I don't know, but it's something I've sort of finding difficult, but I want to get better at that because I know how important it is. I'll show you kind of what speed I've got up to now. So yeah, that's about, obviously there's a few buzzing noises there, but that's about as fast as I got. And I haven't put that alongside the metronome, so I don't exactly know quite how quickly that is, but I think I need to get up to the kind of 160, 180 mark, which right now sounds real quick, but it's just getting the fingers under your strings under your fingers and time on the fretboard. So hopefully another week or so and I'll be getting a bit higher on that anyway. I have been working on one song this week though, actually, in conjunction with everything else. It's not actually part of this stage, it's one few previous stages back, but I've got the Justin Guitar songbooks, and I think I showed that in one of my earlier kind of journey videos, and I picked one out and it's kind of a finger picking song, and you'll instantly know it as soon as I'll play it, and you also know it when you just see this happen now. So yeah, just to get to that point on fast car, it probably took me 2.5 hours just to get my fingers around what I'm supposed to be playing. Now I've got to that point, I don't play it perfect by any means, but it just seems so kind of simple. But to get to that point of feeling simple, it feels like, you know, a lot of time spent. But it's a joy, to be honest. And probably haven't said it before in a lot of these videos, but it's the actual journey, the process which I really love in learning guitar. Sometimes I think we're in such a rush to get to where we want to be, which is at a really high level, that we forget to take the time to enjoy the process. Many guitar players already know this, the guys and girls who are doing really well at it, but for me, someone who's just coming to a musical instrument later in life, it is certainly something that I'm appreciating more and more every time I pick up the guitar. Anyway guys, that's it from me. It'd be great to have you along in the journey, so hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.